If you're the Lions, you have an efficient quarterback. You have a run game that's very good. You have an offensive line that looks like they can dominate people at the point of attack. You have a defense that looks like they can play at a really high level this year. I mean, tell me where the flaws are with this team. Is it crazy to say that the Lions are the best team in the NFC? Because I don't think it's crazy to say that. Not after what we saw last night with their performance against the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, look, they let up 30 points defensively. Got it. Name me how many more offenses they're going to play that are better than the Baltimore Ravens. There's not going to be many, if any. And when you look at this Lions team, I think it's fair to say that the Lions are the best team in the NFC at the current moment. And I get it. They're 2-1. They don't have the best record in the conference. It's week 3. I'm not worried about records at this point in the season, right? Because I'm looking for things that are going to have staying power. And when I look at the Lions and how they're able to win on both sides of the line of scrimmage, being physical at the point of attack on both sides of the line of scrimmage, I look at that and I say that's going to translate later in the season. Not only that, they have a quarterback that they're not putting too much on his plate, and that's perfectly fine. That's where you want Jared Goff at. If Jared Goff can play like this, where you're just asking him to be efficient, get rid of the ball on time, get the operate the offense, do all the things that you want Jared Goff to do, well, he can do that. Absolutely. And they're running the ball effectively. They have a really good running back duo. And their defense, I think their defense is better than it was last year by like a mile. I get it. They let up 30 points to the Ravens. They're not going to play any better offense this year than the Ravens, right? Like, I will get their defensive line with Hutchinson, Reeder, Muhammad, Tyreek Williams, Ali McNeil. He should be back this year. Like, it's really impressive. And then you look at their second level with the linebackers that they have. I mean, they have so many good linebackers on this team. The secondary is improved. This team is going to be really, really good. They're going to be a really hard team to stop. I think they're going to win the NFC North. I think they're going to win the NFC this year because I don't think there's any great team in the NFC, but I think you can make a case that, yeah, the Lions are a great team. And as long as they're healthy, I think that you're looking at a team that has a chance to be one of the very best in football. One of the very best in football. And man, if they can get Jared Goff playing like this all year, again, you're not putting too much on his plate. You're asking him to operate the offense. You're asking him to, like I said, you're not asking him to do things that Jared Goff can't do. You're asking Jared Goff to do what he can do to the best of his ability. And at that point, I feel great about that. If you're a Lions fan, like, here's the thing. I made a video where I said the Lions aren't going to win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. I think I'm starting to rethink that. And here's the reason why. This team, I'm impressed with what they have defensively. I don't think that they've reached their peak defensively yet. Like, Aiden Hutchinson's starting to look like Aiden Hutchinson again. I can't get over how good he looked last night against the Baltimore Ravens. But again, like, the pieces that they have defensively outside of Aiden Hutchinson is what really sells me on this defense. And I think that in an NFC where there's not that many great teams, I don't think there's a single great team in the NFC. Defensively, they're going to be able to hold up. Will they be able to hold up against Philly's offense? Yeah. Will they be able to hold up against LA's? Yeah. Will they be able to hold up against Green Bay's? I know they didn't week 1, but I look at that and I say, yeah, I think they're going to be able to. They're starting to find their groove. They have a new defensive coordinator. They have a new offensive coordinator. And this was the game where I was like, man, it looks like they didn't skip a beat from Ben Johnson last year and Aaron Glenn last year. I'm sorry. That was terrible by me. But man, in an NFC where it's just not a lot. I mean, John Morton as the offensive coordinator, what he did yesterday was impressive. I think it was that 4th down call where they lined up Amon-Ra St. Brown at fullback, handed him the ball, then pitched it to Jahmyr Gibbs, I believe it was. I mean, that's as creative as it gets. And Jared Goff looks like the same Jared Goff that he was last year, which is impressive to me. I think I'm starting to really, really respect Jared Goff and his game and what he provides to that Lions offense. And it sucks that he had the playoff game that he had last year. But, I mean, with this defense, here's the thing. When you can keep Jared Goff in the structure of an offense, he will move the ball. He will be efficient. And I don't care if it's regular season or postseason. He will do those things for you. And I feel like a lot of it last year was the defense just wasn't that good. And I don't think that's the case this year. Like I can't get over how good this defense looks. Like I think this defense has the potential to be one of the best in the game. They improved at every level of the defense. Like I sound like I'm at loss for words how good this defense looks. And I get it. Like they let up 30 points to the Ravens. If you can let up only 30 points to the Ravens, you're all right. You're going to be good. A lot of teams are going to give up 30 plus to the Ravens. If I'm not mistaken, I think so far this season, look, the Browns are one of the best defenses in the league, right? The Browns just held Green Bay to 10 points, and the Ravens put up 41 on them, put up 40 points the week before, and they put up 30 this week. By far the best performance that you saw from a defense in the season so far against the Ravens. Let me repeat that, okay? To get the point across. The Ravens so far this year scored 40 against Buffalo. They scored 41 against the Browns, who just held the Green Bay Packers to 10 points. They scored 30 against the Detroit Lions. The reason why they scored 30, the Ravens, is because they're a great offense. But you're still, if you're a Lions fan, you have to feel great about this defense, because when I look at the Lions schedule, I don't think they're going to be playing anybody as good as this offense. Next week, they have the Browns, Bengals, Chiefs, Buccaneers. Like, I don't see, maybe Dallas, if they get, if they have Lamb and Pickens, that might be something. Rams with Nakua and Adams. But I still don't think either of those offenses are as good as the Ravens. And I look at this and I say that what we saw week one from the Lions, I think that was more of an aberration. I think that, once the season starts to go on here, they'll start to pick it up. And I think they're going to really play at a high level. And I mean, I just don't see many losses on this schedule if you're the Lions. I think they beat Philly in November. I think they beat the Packers. I think they beat the Rams. Like, those are just the really good teams that they play. Now I think they're going to beat. I think they beat the Buccaneers. Like, this team is legit. They're very legit. And when you look around the NFC, are they better than Philly? I think they're better than Philly. Are they better than LA? I think they're better than LA. Are they better than Tampa Bay? Yeah, they're better than Tampa Bay. Like, I don't think there's any way anybody can convince me that the Detroit Lions are not better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I get it. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are off to a good start. But I'm sorry, I just don't see it. I don't see them being better than the Detroit Lions. If you're the Lions, you have an efficient quarterback. You have a run game that's very good. You have an offensive line that looks like they can dominate people at the point of attack. You have a defense that looks like they can play at a really high level this year. I mean, tell me where the flaws are with this team. I mean, maybe if you're able to get pressure on Jared Goff and get him off his spot, sure. But I just think that they have so many answers this year. I think this year they have more answers than they had last year, because last year you could not rely on this defense from the Detroit Lions. This year, I think it's a completely different story. Every quarterback is going to have times where they're going to struggle. They're going to have a bad game. It's about, do you have answers as a team when the most important player on your team is struggling? That's what makes a great team. And I think the Lions have answers to if their quarterback is struggling. Again, it's every quarterback in the league. Every quarterback in the league is going to struggle. Do you have the answers? I think the Lions have the answers. And that's why I just came away so impressed with what the Lions did yesterday.